Hello and welcome to Craftiosity, where creativity comes to you with monthly craft kits delivered to your door. This month we're making a painted stained glass piece for your window or to hang up. Inside your kit you'll find your printed template, a black relief liner, green glass paint, a paintbrush, your arch-shaped glass piece and toothpicks. You'll also find your step-by-step photo instructions and a little something for your pinboard. Start by having a practice with the liner on your glass piece. You'll wipe this off in a minute. Shake the liner bottle with the cap facing down so the liner liquid is at the nozzle end. Squeeze the bottle gently but with a steady pressure so you get an even line. Experiment with creating straight and wavy lines as well as dots. Wipe off your practice lines with a paper towel while the liner is still wet. You can slightly dampen the paper towel to make sure no residue is left behind. Then make sure your glass is clean and dry before moving on to the next step. Place your glass shape on top of the template, lining it up so the design fits within the glass shape. With your relief liner, start by drawing the line of the shelf along the bottom. Then draw the outline of the plant pot along with the dots inside. You might want to position your glass and template at an angle so you can rest your hand comfortably on an area that you aren't painting. Turn your glass piece along with your template upside down and then continue using your liner to draw the stalks of your plant. Allow it to dry for 1 to 2 hours before moving on to the next part so you don't smudge the liner. Next, outline your leaves with a liner. Draw one side of each leaf, then the centre line, then the other side of the leaf. Try to keep the lines as thin as possible by squeezing the liner quite gently. Don't worry too much if they are a little thick, we'll neaten them up in the next step. The liner has quite a thick line, so use a toothpick to remove some of the excess and neaten up your lines. Do this while the liner is still a bit tacky. Wipe your toothpick on a paper towel regularly to avoid smearing the liner. Any smears on the glass can be scraped off with a toothpick when it dries a little. Experiment with varying the thickness of the lines on your leaves. For example, leave the outline of the leaf slightly thicker than the line running down the middle. And pay particular attention to the points of your leaves where 3 lines meet, as these can be quite thick. Allow your liner to dry for 2 to 3 hours so you don't smudge your lines during the next step. Draw the vertical and horizontal lines of the window pane. Make these slightly thicker than the others. Go slowly to ensure a nice straight line, particularly when working in the small areas between the leaves. Using your green glass paint and paintbrush, fill in the leaves, painting inside your liner outline. Don't worry if you get paint outside of the lines, wipe it off with a damp paper towel while the green paint is still wet. Then clean and dry your paintbrush. Squeeze out some of your liner onto a paper towel and use your paintbrush to paint a thin layer in the bottom shelf area on your design. Paint in long strokes, dragging your brush through the liner to create lines that give the shelf a wood grain textured effect. Leave your paint to dry for an hour. If you'd like to create a darker colour on the leaves or the shelf, you can apply additional layers of paint, allowing them to dry in between each layer. The more layers, the darker the colour will be. You can experiment with giving some of the leaves multiple coats of paint while leaving others with just one coat of the green paint. Paint a very thin wash of the green paint onto your plant pot. You can paint the whole thing or just the bottom section like we've done here. Allow your piece to dry and cure fully for 24 hours before displaying. And well done, your painted stained glass piece is complete. Your glass piece can be propped up on a shelf or windowsill, but there's also a hole at the top where you can add your own ribbon or cord if you prefer to hang it. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and we look forward to welcoming you to the next craft kit project next month.